Welcome, everybody, to another Rev Talk. I am without my glasses. I still can't see. My foot's still healing, but I'm ready to go. And I think we've got an interesting topic subject because it affects all of us. Change is basically what it is. And change without notification, and all of a sudden you're in an upheaval. And we got a letter from or a message from Angel Amy.
Mhm.
And it was on her move. Boom, she has to be out like almost instantaneously. And a lot of people are in the same boat. And there's a lot of chaos going around because of the change. And you really don't have to worry about it. If you just stop, take a step back and breathe and get your inner guidance because it's all in divine timing. And that is the hardest thing to accept until you've done it and you realize it works. What do
That's
you
true.
think, Reverend?
You know what I have to say? I read the email this morning and I have to give Angel Amy kudos because that's one of those things. They say there are like major stressors in a person's life that can really affect your chemical makeup of your body at the time of the stress and also afterwards. A lot of times that's where depression comes in, is the triggers from these major life changes, and one of them is moving. Another is, losing your job, and there are a couple of them. But Angel Amy was saying that she's going through, she doesn't have anything set and she's not worrying about it. She's going through the process of packing things up. And I have to give her kudos because that's a tough thing to do
It is.
when you find yourself in that situation and the knee-jerk reaction is to panic. At least for me, it is like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? She's going about it the right way. It's a matter of understanding that the universe has our back at all times. That's the thing we need to hold on to. It will work itself out because the universe conspires for us always. So it's always going to work out for
Oh,
us.
yeah. What is meant to be is.
Right.
And the one thing you said two things that stuck in my mind was number one, moving is the number one stress to move a household.
Right.
Number two is
The loss of a job or
yeah, loss of a job, employment. And three is the loss of someone in your family member.
okay.
But I used to move every 2 years and I
Oh,
used to get so upset with it. And I look back now, and most of the moves were because we chose to move and go better and better. But I realized we were supposed to take that path because in each one of my moves, I had a different relationship with my neighbors and I learned various things from it. And as I look back on it, it's amazing when you start looking at all your changes that have caused you so much worry and so much stress. If you just stop and look back and see what you learned or acquired from that. And that's where most people want to control everything. Most people want to know what, where, when, and how. And life isn't that way. Life is combustible. It comes and it goes in spurts or it goes in, real slow. It's just a matter of how we accept it. In fact, I just had one of my readings was the same thing and see if I can find it. It was so good because it was simple and it just said it like simplicity. And it's that the guy I like that knit tack that.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was so simple. It was where is it? I just had it. When you pull back your brain from tomorrow and your heart from yesterday, you find peace in today. And so, why worry about tomorrow and what we're going to do and have to move? Why worry about yesterday? They gave me that stupid notice I have to move or I lost my job. when you pull back, you find you're at peace.
Right.
And I thought, that's really beautiful. It's simple, easy, and everyone can do it.
Yes, as long as we remember to do it. That's
That's
the
why we practice to be perfect.
that's why we practice to not necessarily be perfect, but to just kind of, stay on the track instead of teetering off one side or the other. Oh no.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it's important. And I find I'm communicating now more with my angels, but they're just coming and talking to me. And well, I didn't ask the question, and the question was in my mind, but I hadn't asked it yet. And
Right.
and when you start the communication, it just flows. And the more people practice, the more people go within, the more they'll find that inner peace because there's nothing to fear that's going on in the world. It's not in an uproar, and there's not at the end of the world. And in fact, I just saw something that was really an energetic posting that was showing the energies that are going and the higher and the lower. And here we are in the middle, and they're all trying to go like this.
Oh, okay.
So that's the chaos, that's the turmoil. So we can all settle where we're supposed to be. So it's not anything to fear.
Right.
It really isn't. If you have peace of mind, you have peace.
That's absolutely true. Well, like I said, we were talking earlier, and here, the flags were at half staff, and I kept thinking, wonder why. But I don't watch the news and I don't listen. Well, as it turns out, there was something local that happened. It was a shooting and a police officer was killed, and that's what it was for. But it took me a couple of days to finally like sit down and say, okay, we're gonna check it out.
Yeah.
And yes, it's sad. And again, everything happens exactly the way it's supposed to.
When you said that, because I used to watch suspenseful garbage movies, and I'm sitting here and I'm watching the new one, Reacher, and I'm thinking, they all chose those lives. They all chose that path. So let's look at this differently and just enjoy this movie. It's a lot easier when you realize that.
Yes.
Your kids look at you like you chose that,
Right.
so.
Right. Well, we did. We chose to be here. We're integral to this timeline. We chose to be here at this time.
Yeah,
Why somebody is here, I don't have the answer to that. It's not for me to know.
yeah.
I have a hard enough time sometimes asking why I'm here
What am I doing,
and trying to figure it out, let alone trying to, well, wonder why that person's here. I don't care. In the sense that, okay, I got enough on my plate. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
So it
and
is.
that's another subject. When you said you have enough on your plate, you're never given more than you can choose.
Right. There's always
And
enough.
that's what I have to keep telling myself when it just starts pouring. Yeah, I'm never given more than I can handle.
Right. Oh, yes. Well, then there's that. Really, 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 like,
Do I need it? Yeah, are you sure?
it's like I don't, maybe I don't want to handle this.
Yeah.
There's always this.
I learned that and I put it in the back now. It's gone.
I just read something about that too, where it was a message from the universe, kind of saying, if you find something coming back to you that you thought you had cleared, don't fret over it. It's not a form of punishment, and it's not a way of saying, oh, you missed something. It's just for you to say, what did I learn from this? And then to be able to let it go. And I thought, oh, I like that explanation
That's
rather
good.
than frustrating myself, like, really? What the heck?
Yeah,
Not
that's
like,
so true.
oh, okay, what did I learn?
And
Oh,
now I know how to handle it.
and now I can let that go. Yay.
Mhm.
So,
Very
so
good.
yeah, I think, it is important for all of us to be able to, again, like we've said before, take that pause and take that step back and to view where you're at and what's going on rather than doing the knee-jerk panic kind of thing, which is easy to do.
Yeah.
It is. Let's face it. It's easy to go there. Um, it's the matter of being able to just tell yourself it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And it
Well,
is.
I always remember in A Course of Miracles, there's only two feelings, love and fear. Which are you going to choose?
Right.
It's not that simple because of this, and yes, there are other emotions, but the two that control us the most are those two.
That's interesting.
And which do you choose? You
Right.
can't be giving love and sending love if you're here in fear.
Right. Very good. I like that.
So it's easier to be in peace, at peace with yourself. And I do realize, which you just made me realize, it's all the emotions going around us that we're absorbing because we're so open.
Yes,
And I have to remember to protect myself. And I forget that a lot.
I do too. I do
And it's
too.
very important at this time.
And two, also, if you find yourself in that feeling, that angst, what's going on? Why do I feel this way? But you get to ask yourself, is this mine, or am I picking up on somebody else? And I used to dismiss that. I used to say, oh, well, it's got to be me. I'm not that sensitive. I'm not, well, I am actually that
Yes,
sensitive.
you
And it's
are.
like, okay, is this mine? And I have to really kind of sit and sort through it for a little bit and realize a lot of times it's not mine, which gives me a great sense of relief when that
Yes, it
happens.
is. That's important.
Yes. So again, just to give yourself that break, give yourself that chance to, you're in control of your part of the conversation. Somebody may be very excitable and maybe, really, really stressed or whatever. That doesn't mean you have to be stressed or to respond in kind. You have control over your part of the conversation so you can pause and ask yourself, okay, what's really going on here? And then continue on with the conversation or not, however you choose for it to be.
That is so good.
So I like that. So again, kudos to Angel Amy for being balanced and calm and trusting that it's all good
It
and it
is.
will work out exactly the way it's supposed to and for the highest and best.
Exactly.
So with that, my dear, what do you think?
I am complete.
Okay. So we want to thank you again for joining us on another Rev Talk. And we want to remind you to be gentle with yourself, to be kind to yourself, and to remember that you are unique in all the universe. There will never be another just like you in all of space and time. You are powerful, you are cherished, and you are loved. And without you, the song of the universe would be incomplete. Until next time, my friends, be well.
Well.